Hello there. This is my very first video, so I'm going to plan on doing loads and loads. I've been a UFO, not say fanatic, but interested since I was that big, but not much bigger now, I'll be honest. But anyway, this is a true story. I actually met people who saw it. It was in a town in Kirkby in Ashfield. Why this story is not very popular, I don't know, because a lot of people saw it, and maybe because it's quite a poor area, it didn't get the influence, which is quite good, really. But it actually happened. I mean, I spoke to loads of people, and people even had the houses mended from it. So, yeah, it really did happen. It was in the local newspaper, as far as I know, a local newspaper called the Chad, I think it was at the time, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's about 79, 78 to 82, I think it was, about when it happened. The disc, the flying UFO, it was a disc shape, as many are recorded disc shape. So whether that's just what people envisage and they thought, oh, but that's what people saw, and they were only a few hundred feet away. And it was silver looking, same old, silver spaceship. But I believe it because so many people saw it, and actually ended up going up there to have a peek. So I officially saw it myself, not the crap. I saw it where it landed. You can see the marking for years after. But I tell you what, other people told me. It was in Coxmore Estate, right at top. The bottom of the estate, I explained, it's all electric houses and they have no chimney pots, as far as I know anyway. But at the top, it's more old-fashioned and they have chimney pots and things. The reason I explain that because the UFO what come across, well, whether it's MOD or UFO, nobody knows. But anyway, it came across and it was a sort of dish shape, silver in colour, and it's supposed to knocked off some of the chimney pots and broke the glass on some of the windows and took off the lot of tiles as it skimmed across. So, and because it was a bright summer's day, kids were out, and that's always playing. So he had a lot of witnesses, a lot of parents were out looking at it. So he had loads of witnesses. Basically, so it skimmed across on a skull loaded everybody out, and as it skimmed across, just behind it was militia helicopters. They say only less than a minute behind it, quite a lot of them. And as they followed it down because it seemed to lose control. They were saying because it crashed into what they call Thieves Wood. Now, Thieves Wood's not a big wood; it's not a forest. It's basically you can throw a stone over it. It's a little bit further and it'll crash safely into the field. Another 50 yards and it'd been all right, no doubt. But because it came into the trees, it's obviously lost control. It wouldn't have decided to go there for any reason. It would have gone somewhere softer. So as it went down, it basically made an indentation where it landed. It made a groove and still, the mark were there. That way they didn't clear up. They couldn't clear that up at all. But obviously less debris from the craft. But everything was cleared up within half a day. These guys from the helicopters landed round the field and blah, blah, blah. Picked everything up. Trucks came, cordoned it off. And everything we removed. No police, no nothing. The police turned up, but they wasn't involved. What I can understand with going in, it was just all military. Yeah, and it's but they said it were quiet. There were none of this flashy lights or anything. It just quiet. Just the only thing what made a noise because it was made a wumble around the sky first, but they don't in fact the helicopters wumbling or the crafts. Everybody I spoke to thought that was the helicopters. They reckon that was quiet, and it just mumbled down into the trees, and that was it. They never seen any little green man jump out. No, none of those stories was ever reported. Just that. But still, nice story though, and it's still well documented. I mean, a lot of dozens and dozens of people, so it's not just one. And they all basically said the same thing. He came across Coxmore Estate, took out a few of the tiles and chimney pots, broke a lot of glass, scared a lot of kids and parents, and landed where it did. And when they cleared it all off, everybody couldn't wait. And they went up and had a look. And the thing what was only thing they could find what was there was this indentation where it crash landed. Not obviously wasn't planned to be like that. I just imagine it comes down like gently normally, but this time it didn't. What caused it? I don't know. But the interesting thing is that just from there, I'll tell you another story in a few. I will record another one in a few minutes because I'm going to get a cup of tea for I do it. Is that this? It just seemed I don't know why that area. I really don't. There's no MOD centres around there. There's nothing any importance, I don't think. But yeah, there's been a few things happening over the years. I haven't got a clue why, because there's certainly nothing to attract. Only thing I could think of, there's a big dish, which I'll bring this up on another story. There's a big dish, loads of dishes on a big. You see them. Whether that has something to do with bringing that down, and a lot of people suspect it did because it had only just been put up prior to that. I don't think it had been up much longer, but it's still there. But it's even got more dishes on now. And the thing will fall over one day. It's got many dishes on. I ain't got a clue what they'll do. I really don't. But that's the same area where I'll tell another story. What affected lots of children, and I wondered if that dish brought that down. Maybe that's what they're supposed to do. Maybe what these dishes are for. I've got a clue. Interference with something else, not just phones and things. I don't know. But either way, maybe just coincidence because I can't think of anything else around there. What would have brought it down? No, there's no insignificance. But the craft itself, I reckon, about 30 foot wide. Nobody really said the height of it. They just said around 30 foot. I think it was just that was a generic what everybody said, 25, 30 foot. So most people said the same. So I'm going with that. Nobody actually could guess the height of it for some power reason. Whether it was going like that, I don't know. But they all said no flashing lights, and reckon that it were quiet. Again, the only noise what were there with helicopters. So it's a good one though. It seemed cleared it up there. Where it went to, be interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, I hope you like it. If you find anything on that, please let me know. That'd be good. I'd like to read more about it myself because. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you. God bless.